Okay, so the first card you have for your past is the Nine of Cups. So, okay, so yeah, already I'm seeing a few different situations here, and it's really about, there's a standing back, there's a holding back feeling. You've got the Hanged Man as well. So I'm going to talk about the two of them together because they go together in this reading, I think. So I'm getting this feeling that someone was trying to take you for a bit of a fool, actually. Not just one person. I think this was a time in your life where you had a few different people in different parts of your life trying to either put one over you or kind of pretend something that wasn't really happening, or trying to, trick you a bit, things like that. Now, you're very, very, very smart. You know what's going on. You have a lot of intelligence inside yourself. You have a lot of intuitiveness. So you knew what was happening. You knew everything that was going on. There's a person here that I'm seeing. The first thing I'm seeing here is obviously this man in the Nine of Cups, he's pretending to be something he's not. He's very smug. He's like, look at all my golden cups, look at how amazing I am. But really, he's sitting on a little wooden seat, which really is a bit cheap and a bit nasty, actually. He's not on a throne or any amazing, chair like that. He's not on any big seat. He's not on a sofa. He's not on a chair or anything. He's on a wooden bench. So, he's not really what he appears to be. Now, and he's hiding things behind the curtain. And you knew this. You knew this person was trying to treat you like a bit of a fool, pretend all these things. And, I think you were just sitting back and watching all of this. I don't think you let on that you knew what you knew. It's kind of like, I see everything, but I don't say everything. I know everything, but I don't let on. That's what I'm getting. That's how you were. You're way smarter than any of these people take you credit for. You still are. And you're just sitting back. You weren't doing anything. And I think that was a really good strategy for you. I don't know if it was a strategy, but sometimes it's really good to be under the radar sometimes, especially around people who have these big egos, like this man in this card. They trip themselves up eventually. And, it's like, you know that it's more powerful to say nothing sometimes and just let things unfold in front of you. And that's how you were. Very, very smart. And the Hanged Man's obviously very smart. He's got a light bulb around his head. Lots of ideas are coming in. But he's sitting back, or he's hanging back, I should say, and he's not saying anything. And he's got his hands behind his back as well. So he's not showing his hand. It's like, in poker, in a game of poker, he doesn't show his hand. He doesn't show what he's thinking. So, there's power in keeping quiet sometimes, and that's what you're like. And these things eventually come out. And, I think it's in your best interest not to say anything. And I think you knew that at this time. So, the last card you have, you pass the Hierophant. So, the Hierophant can be about a few things: higher learning, formality, the high church sometimes, rules, restrictions, all that kind of thing. And, he's up there, he's on his throne, but again, he's not saying anything. He knows who he is. He doesn't have to tell everyone who he is and what he knows. He doesn't have to brag or say anything. He's just sitting there. So, the other thing I'm getting in this card, this is quite a spiritual card, and I think you could feel a presence around you. I'm getting this feeling of a presence. It's nothing scary or anything like that. I think this was someone you knew, and you weren't physically around this person, but you could feel this person was either thinking about you or their energy was around you. It was something like that, and you might still feel that. The Hierophant's about that. It can be about listening to your inner voice, listening to energies and spiritual things and things like that, rather than people, because he has his ears covered. So he's not listening to people's voices. He's listening to the energies and spiritual things. You have the High Priestess as well right next to this, if you look at this horizontally. So, the High Priestess is about that kind of thing as well, spirituality. Now, the interesting thing is, because I'm seeing them horizontally, they're sitting next to each other, it looks like a couple to me. It looks like a couple who is connected spiritually. And I think that's what's happening. I think you are connected to someone in a spiritual way. You're very intuitive. They're very intuitive. You were thinking about them. They were thinking about you. And that's why you could feel that presence. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. Very strong. Okay, so this is what I'm getting as well. This is going to be a bit strange. I'm getting the word removed. Removed, that's what I'm getting, removed. So maybe one of you was removed, maybe one of you moved physically without really wanting to do that. Maybe one of you had to move for some reason. I'm also getting confined. Removed and confined. So one of you might have been removed, or you had to leave for some reason when you didn't want to do that, and then you were confined to somewhere, or they were confined to somewhere. You had to be somewhere without really wanting to do that for some reason. I don't know why that is. I'm just getting those words, and that's what I'm seeing around those words. So very strong feelings. If you do feel that someone's thinking about you, feeling about you, someone who's left for whatever reason, especially if they didn't want to or you had to, they're thinking about you, they're feeling things about you as well. That's what I'm getting. Again, you're very intelligent, you know what's going on, but what I'm seeing in this card is your intelligence is a lot deeper than a kind of a formal learning that this card's about sometimes. It's not about having degrees and having that kind of knowledge. It's more about, you do have that, but this is about a deeper knowledge, a spiritual knowledge. That's where your real intelligence is. It's in the spiritual, and that's why you're feeling this person around you. You have this knowing, you have this inner knowing, you know when people are trying to pull one over yourself, you know what's happening even without knowing the facts, you know what everyone's up to, and you know that this person's thinking about you, feeling things about you, because you can feel that. That's what I'm getting in this card. So I don't know if any of this is going to make any sense to you. I could feel that. I knew that. It was more about feeling, thinking, spirituality, all that kind of thing. So it's very hard for me to articulate that. So if you understand that, and if this is about you, use your spirituality to its full extent. I'm getting that message as well. Tap into that as much as you can, because you have a very deep source there, and you can tap into that for a lot of things that you need in your life, and just a lot of other things as well. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. Very hard for me to do this. This is quite draining, actually, I have to say. I'm not blaming you. So the first card you have for your presence, the World. Yeah, this is really interesting, because I was getting the words removed and confined with this person who was either removed from you or you were from them. And this card's the absolute opposite of that. It means freedom and victory. So if there's someone that you're connected to, even if it's spiritually, they went away or you went away, and I keep on seeing a love connection here, because I'm seeing this couple here with this Hierophant and the High Priestess. If they're a love connection, if someone's confined, if someone's separated against their will, or whether they don't want to be, might be you, might be them. What this is showing me is they're going to be free, and they're going to have some kind of victory. So they're going to be able to get out of this situation, or you will. So, okay, I have to tell you, I'm seeing months. I am seeing a few months before this actually happens. Might be a lot of months. So it's quite a while before this does happen. Again, I can't quite see whether this is you or them that had to move away. There is definitely victory, though. I can tell you that. It's victorious. There's a laurel wreath here. It's a massive laurel wreath. Yes, okay, this is what I'm seeing as well. They might contact you in some form. over Christmas maybe, or in the new year, late December, early January, around that time. I don't know whether you celebrate Christmas or not. I don't know whether you even recognize Christmas. I had to say that because maybe that's the case. I don't know, whoever this is for. But this isn't about what you celebrate. This is about what's happening at that time of year. This is about you coming closer, whether that's you or your energies, whether you're just going to speak to them. It might be direct contact. It might be indirect contact. Someone might tell you about them. Someone who's a relative of theirs might contact you out of nowhere, and you'll be really surprised. And then that's how you know that they're around you. And then it might lead to them contacting you, or you seeing them, or something. It's something like that. It's some kind of contact, some form of contact in some way. So if you do hear from them, that's definitely a sign that you are coming closer, or the energy is coming closer to you. And there's a very interesting, very deep, very spiritual connection there. There's some restriction. It's either around you or them. The end result is freedom and victory. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Oh, this is very, very tense. I don't know why it is. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Magician. So you can, if you want to be close to them, you can. If they, again, at some time, if they want to be close to you, they can. If that's what you both want, you can both manifest this. This is what this Magician card's telling me. The other thing I'm seeing here is, and this is also about keeping yourself quiet, your knowledge quiet, your spiritual knowledge, and all other things, what you know about things, what you know about people. You're still going to be doing that. You're still going to be keeping quiet. Now, you have a lot going on as well. I think you're working on something. It's something quite big. Might be a business, might be a project. I don't know what it is. It's something quite big, or it has the potential to be quite big, and it will be because you've got the Magician. Now, you're keeping a lot of this to yourself, or you're keeping some of this to yourself. You're not telling people what you're working on. So same kind of thing again. You're keeping a lot to yourself. This is an important thing. This is a very, very important thing. That's what I'm seeing here. Again, I'm seeing a work thing or a business or something like that. Now, you're probably going to end up doing this thing. I think at the moment it's small, but it's going to grow and grow and grow. I'm seeing this thing getting bigger. I'm seeing it unfolding, expanding. It's coming full circle. This is what I'm seeing. Some of these people who underestimate you, especially one person here, they're actually going to be really shocked, really surprised that you've done this thing, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And it's going to be like, wow, how did they do that? I didn't think they had it in them. I really didn't, because they're underestimating you. People are underestimating you. They're underestimating your abilities. They're underestimating your knowledge. But you know so much more than they realise, and you know so much more than them as well. So when they see this thing getting bigger and bigger, they're going to be really surprised. And it's going to be really good, actually. You're going to have the last laugh. So, that's what the Magician does. If you think about a traditional magician, someone that does tricks on a stage or whatever, he doesn't show how he actually does the trick. The audience sees the end result, but he hides the actual trick, and that becomes his advantage. And they all clap at the end, and they all say, that's amazing. So everyone sees the result, and that's what these people are going to see. They're going to see the end result. And so, you're going to surprise some people here. And I think you're always going to be a bit like that. You're going to keep a lot of your knowledge to yourself. And that's where your power is, keeping things to yourself. So just remember that. That's where your power is. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the High Priestess. So this is about hidden knowledge. Again, that's what this is about. She has this knowledge, the High Priestess. She only gives her knowledge to people who she thinks deserves to have that knowledge. Now, you obviously have that knowledge, you have that spiritual ability, so she's given that to you because you deserve that. So that's why you have to tap into that. You have to use that a lot. Meditate, look into yourself, use that knowledge. That's what I'm seeing that card. Okay, there's something else here. I'm seeing a woman, and whoever this is, she's had a few health problems, and there's a lot of stress around her as well. It's coming from a lot of different directions, very stressful. And yeah, this is what I'm seeing. She's worried about you. Whoever this is, she's worried about you. I think she might be worrying about something that's not actually happening. She's overly worrying, but I think that's because she's got all this stress around her. So, yeah, she's worrying unnecessarily about you. So, if you know who this is, it might be a parent, might be a mother because it's a woman, might be an aunt, might be a sister, it's someone older, I think. Please contact them if you can, because it just feels like her mind's kind of running around and around in circles. And I think if you spoke to her, you'd be able to put her mind at rest. And I think that's what she needs. She wants to be at peace. She wants to be at rest. So that's what I'm seeing. So if you know who this is, please contact this person. Okay, so right. So the first card you have for your future is the Six of Wands. So yeah, what was happening in this Magician card, this thing that you're working on, you have got victory. Again, you've got it in the World card. There was that laurel wreath there. There's another one here. So there's huge victory. Go after this thing that you want. Go after this thing. Work at it. Make it work. It's absolutely going to happen. I keep on seeing this thing that's going to unfold. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It looks really, really positive. Yeah, so, you know, I think with this thing in the Magician card, this is what I'm seeing. You have two things going on, I think, at the same time. You've got a lot of excitement, you've got enthusiasm about this. I think sometimes you're hopeful, and I think at other times you can be a little bit doubtful, actually. You have these doubts. It's like, oh, you know, one minute you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm really excited. And the other minute it's like, or the next minute it's like, oh, I don't know, can I do this? Am I good enough? I don't think I am. So, if this is how you're feeling, you know, if your mind starts doubting this and, you know, if it goes down this path of, you know, negativity, again, tap into that High Priestess. She's given you this. She's given you this spirituality for you to use at your own free will at any time. So, you know, again, if you meditate, you might want to do that. You know, find that inside yourself, because I think you've got that excitement inside you. You just need to find that when you're having those doubts, so you can go back to the other feeling. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. So yeah, follow that inner knowing that's in the High Priestess. Because, you know, doubts come from outside. They come from outside conditioning. They come from, you know, things that people have said to us, negative things, ideas that we've grown up with sometimes. They come from the outside. But the inner knowing and the enthusiasm and the positivity comes from the inside. It comes from that deep inner knowing. It comes from inside of you. You know it's there, so you have to tap into that. And that's what's going to help you to move forward and get rid of these doubts. I hope this is making sense. I'm just having a huge blah, blah, blah on what I'm seeing. I'm not really thinking. I'm just speaking on what I see freely. So I hope this is making sense to someone. Okay, so the next card you have, you features the Nine of Wands. Okay, so, right, there's a little bit of a warning here. Now, there's a bit of hurt here. There's a bit of loneliness here. Okay, so I'm looking at these two cards together. So again, I'm seeing these two working together. So I'm going to talk about them together, this one and the Nine of Swords. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, there are boundaries. There's a very strong boundary. You've put that boundary up. I think it's been there for a while. You've set this up for yourself. I think you've blocked someone. You set up this boundary. in a lot of different ways. So yeah, it's a very strong boundary, and it's there because you know that you don't want to talk to whoever this is. You don't want whoever this is to come near you. There's a lot of danger here, a lot of danger with this person. You don't want them to come near you. It goes a long way back, I think. I'm seeing years here, might even be more than that, 1 or 2 years, even more. And you've kept up this boundary. You haven't wavered on that. You've kept it up. It's very, very strong. Now, whoever this is, they're from your past. I keep on seeing danger. They really mess with your head. And I think in the beginning, when you first put this boundary up, they tried to come back a few times, over and over again, maybe. They tried to talk to you. They tried tricks to try and get around this boundary. But I think that all died down after a while, and that's why this is here. I hate to say this, but yeah, that's why it's here. You're going to have to defend this barrier again. Things aren't going well for this person. They feel a bit like this poor woman in the Nine of Swords. Now, this is a really sad card, the Nine of Swords, and usually, my heart goes out to whoever's in this card, whoever this represents. But I keep on getting this danger. My overriding feeling around this whole thing is really protection. I want to protect you from this. So it's about protect yourself. Go and watch out for this boundary. There's a hole in this boundary, and this man's plugging up this hole in this boundary. He's become a part of this boundary, so he's watching. It's like he's out there watching. It's like he's a security guard. So you're going to have to be like him. You're going to have to really step up and defend your boundary. So just be aware of that. I think you might be sensing this person in your energy as well, actually, because you're very intuitive. So it's just a warning. Just be aware of that. Watch out for that. Again, I'm not seeing physical danger. I'm not seeing anything like that. There is some kind of contact that is going to come up here. So block everything. Have someone help you. Stand there on guard. I don't want to scare you, but I think you know who this is, and you've got to really watch out for them, because they're kind of very lonely. They're having a lot of problems, and they're going to come back and kind of see who they can tap into. And you're one of the people, sadly. So I don't want you to worry. I really don't want you to stress about this, I should say. But I have to tell you what I'm seeing. If you block everything you possibly can, if you get people on your side, you'll be able to get through this. You will.